Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So my car engine went out last October, and it took a few months to get my vehicle back because it actually broke down when I was evacuating for the hurricane. And in the meantime, my parents floated a rental car, and then I ended up losing my job.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so they said my parents ended up helping out, and what they ended up doing was taking out a HELOC on their house to cover that and a few other things, and I wasn't aware of this until afterwards. But they're the kind of people where strings are attached, and I'm just trying to figure out if I should be debt snowballing this, which would make it the second to last debt to be paid off, or if I should be prioritizing it because it's on their house.
That's a great question.
How much is it? How much is this HELOC?
So my portion of it is about $11,500.
That right there, what you just said, tells me all I needed to know. $11,500 just for kicks and giggles. Tell me how much the other portion is and who got that.
I don't know because they didn't tell me.
Do you want to know what I think? Very briefly. I think they wanted to take out a HELOC, and I think you gave them a good excuse to do it.
And I think I would treat this like the IRS and put it at the very top and pay this off as fast as humanly possible.
Uh-huh.
How much are you putting towards debt every month?
So I actually just found you guys a little over a month ago, and I just finished baby step 1.
Welcome
so
to the cult.
Put together a big
Welcome.
Thanks.
We'll send you some Kool-Aid in the mail.
Oh, cool.
I'm just kidding. We won't, but it's cool. All right. So you just finished baby step 1, and then what?
So I have this big spreadsheet I have with all of my debts and the payments and what's owed and interest and all that.
How much per
stuff,
month?
So.
How much per month are you able to put towards debt?
So they wanted me to pay about $300 monthly. So I've been actually paying them weekly because I get paid weekly.
Your parents?
To pay back my portion of it, yes.
Okay, you know what I would do? Jade, stop me
month.
if I'm wrong. I would go down to a local credit union and take out a loan for $11,500, and I would write them a check. I would rather you owe a credit union than that.
For that.
You can't do that?
That's why they ended up helping out in the first place. I'm coming out of a bad marriage where a lot of bad decisions were made.
Mm-hmm. Then let me just say this. So there's part of this that's on you, and then there's part of it that isn't, in the way of they saw you needed help and they said, we'll help. Mm-hmm. They chose to take out debt to do it. That wasn't your choice. You didn't say, Mom, Dad, go take out a HELOC because I need the money and you need to risk your house for me. You didn't say that, right?
Correct. How
did it happen that you got the money? Did you ask for it even, or did they just see you needed it and gave it to you?
I never saw the money. My dad and his friend ended up going and collecting the car because the dealership was actually avoiding us because it was 4 hours away. So he ended up going and collecting the car and dropping it off at one of his friends who's a mechanic, and the money went straight from them to him.
This sounds super shady.
It really does.
Is your dad trustworthy?
So when it comes to this kind of stuff, yes.
Okay.
So how bad would, dude, my wife just wrecked our car. And it was awesome. She wasn't even drinking. She just crashed it. It was just ran it down the side of a concrete pillar. And I said that she never drinks. But the whole repair was about $11,000. Every panel had for that kind of repair from a buddy, from a friend, I'm calling no way.
Yeah, I was not happy with it, and I haven't been back to him for services.
No. That's your dad's friend.
But my thing is, did you even know they were doing that, and did you approve it, or they just up and did it?
He said he was going to help me. He wasn't specific.
Yeah, that's not helping you.
I was in a really bad place because I had no income.
And thus is my theory.
I have a 3-year-old.
But that's my theory. That's the point that I was trying to make is, if you said, hey, there's strings attached, if they put those strings on there, that's on them. You did not tell your dad to do any of this. You didn't tell him to take out a HELOC. You didn't tell him to spend $11,500. You had very little say in what took place. Now, they took out a HELOC clearly for more. Who knows what they did with that, but that was their choice. And now they're like, man, this is kind of heavy on us. We want this money.
Yeah, now you're an ATM machine.
Exactly. And now they're pressing you, hey, $300, whatever it is that they want.
I totally retract what I said. They go in the baby steps order. What's the minimum payment on that loan?
So the monthly payment for it is $238.34.
How'd you get at that number?
Mm-hmm.
I put it through a loan amortization schedule based on my amount and the interest rate and what the payments I was planning on making.
Great. Tell them you'll pay them $238, and that's a minimum payment, and put it in the debt snowball.
Mm-hmm.
I retract what I said earlier.
By the way, what's the interest? Is this the interest you came up with, or they're charging you interest?
So it was originally 8%, but it just went down to 7.5%.
That's the interest on the HELOC?
Yes.
And I'm wondering about that because they took out a greater amount for this HELOC. And I don't feel like it's, ooh, girl.
I'm telling you, we just take these calls for a living.
I know that because I saw a receipt.
Mm-hmm.
You saw a receipt for what?
I saw a receipt sitting on a table that I shouldn't have.
What's the total HELOC?
I know it was for more.
So what's the total?
Like 30.
See, I just don't. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you because it's the only way I know how to keep it. In my mind, there's no way I'm paying interest on this.
Yeah.
There's no way because I'm going, hey, Dad, love you, but you did this. I never approved this message. I never said go into debt. I certainly never said go 11,500 into debt. I certainly never said, and please do it at 8%. You did that. And on the one hand, I'm grateful that you went to fix my car. But on the other hand, I'm grateful that you kind of tied my hands behind my back. And now I'm on the hook for something that I don't know if I would have done that. And now I'm feeling the pressure, and that's unfortunate because we're family and we love each other. I'm going to pay you back this $11,500. I'm not going to pay it back at 8% interest because I would not
take the loan out.
I would not have told you to go into debt to do this if you had asked me. That's what Jade Warshaw would do. You and your dad, you know the dynamic. But if you're asking my advice, that's mine. John, what would you do?
The other thing I would do is I would call the mechanic and ask for an itemized receipt because I want to see.
I did see the receipt. I have it in a packet for my car care.
And they did $11,500 worth of work for a friend.
So about 6,600 was the engine, and then the rest was labor and taxes.
Ooh. I tell you what. I'm not questioning that part so much. Maybe I don't know enough about cars to question that part, but I am questioning the way it all went down.
Yeah.
I don't,
Help get your kid a $1,500 used Camry with 300,000 miles on it to get you from A to B.
Yeah.
You don't take an $11,000 loan at 8% interest and then haggle your single daughter over it. That's what you don't do.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.